Hi everyone, my name is Dareen and I'm so excited to be with you here today and share with you a story that changed my attitude in life. You see, when I first started my postgraduate studies, I was super excited. I arrived at my new lab and I met my supervisor, who is a very well-established scientist in his field. He had very controversial scientific views, which I really respected as he didn't shy away from sharing it, which showed me a lot of confidence in his work. However, my excitement did not last as I soon realized that what I anticipated as a set for me to thrive turned out to be a pit that I needed to survive. You see, my supervisor at that time had so many personal negative opinions about where I came from and the fact that I don't have a Y chromosome. So I found myself completely trapped in this negative environment, and there was this daily flux of negative opinions that through time scarred my self-confidence and made me less productive in my work. I realized that I really needed to do something to regain my confidence, and I knew that I needed to build this shield to protect me from his negativity. But at that time, it wasn't really clear how I can achieve it. So my daily routine would be leaving work, going back to my studio, and then spending the night working and playing with my personal microscope. You see, microscopy brings me a lot of joy and peace and happiness. I just love how it allows me to see new things every time. There's so much action under a microscope. You can see organisms as they move around and try to find their food. You can see the details, the colors. It's just brilliant and rarely predictive. I loved how it allowed me that area of exploration. I'm going to share with you some of these slides so you can see and appreciate the beauty that it entails. So this slide shows you a cross-section of a plant, the stem part of the plant, and you can see this beautiful organization of cells in color. This one is actually a longitudinal section, and even in this static picture, you can get a sense of the movement and the direction of the cells as they extend with the growing tip of the root. This is a brain. So it's the brain of a young cuttlefish. And this is fungus. Have you seen fungus in a more beautiful setting than this one? So the microscope that I use is the light microscope. And just to give you a brief background on how it works, it uses two sets of lenses, the objective lens, which is close to the specimen, and the eyepiece. And for this system to work best together, to magnify the image, you need to prepare your slide in a very specific way. So the slide needs to be very thin, so it allows the light to pass through it. And you need to stain your slides. So it gives you a contrast that you will be able to view it, as well as more information about what the tissue contains. You see different stains, they have affinity to different cellular components. So this image is actually taken from the same tissue, which is a fish gonad, but they were stained with different methods. And you can see that it shows you different details, different structures, and different highlights. And with that, or like what we see here in a way, is that each staining method is giving you part of the truth, a truth that it has more affinity toward. It's leading us to see the same thing differently. So my microscope has just illustrated to me a lesson that is about to change my life. I was able to see how my choice of the staining method and the magnification scale kind of directed what I'm going to see in these slides. So if this is the case, then it leads us to think, how does this apply to opinion? I mean, if you think about it, an opinion is a reflection of the background, the experience, and the ability of the person to comprehend differences in an open mind. So in a way, an opinion is relative, and it doesn't really necessarily represent the truth. So it's just like a staining method. It has different affinity to different truths. So with this mindset, I started viewing my supervisor's opinion differently. So instead of making it an opinion that defines me, I started making it more of a limitation of his senses and ability to connect with me and understand me. That was the first step that actually I was able to regain my confidence and focus in work. My second desire was that I really wanted to be able to forgive him on a daily basis, so I don't have to bear with the negative weight that could actually drag me down. That was, I have to say, that was a difficult thing to achieve at the beginning, but I realized that the best way to do it was that every time he disrespected me, I would visualize him as a child that was deeply hurted in his childhood and is continuously hurting. The combination of these two mindsets did not only help me or empower me through that time, but it also allowed me to choose to live life differently in a way that is more sentimental and less judgmental. You see, I believe microscopy is such a beautiful and elegant technology. It taught me a lot about life, art, and even myself. It made me realize the relativity of an opinion. And I would really encourage everyone to give it a try, to meditate through microscopy, delve into its word, and discover what is your life microscopic lesson. Give it a go. Thank you.